So I'm on the phone with my sister now. And like I told you, she's going to stand on business. And so I'm on the phone with her and she's telling me how bad I sound now. And I'm telling her, yeah, I just don't feel well. They're not even giving me. She said, oh, somebody coming to give you Tylenol. I spoke to them on the phone already today. I let them know that I'm sending the news down there for you, that somebody better get over there to talk to you, that you better get the treatment that you deserve, or that it's going to be some protesting going on over there at FMC Carswell. And so she said, I called your unit manager. I called your counselor's office. I called the nurse at the camp. I told everybody that somebody needs to get over there, because why would they send y'all there to get treated like that? I said, and sis, they finally let us take a shower. And she could not believe that I had been there for those amount of days without a shower. And I was like, I can't believe it myself. Like, this is the worst treatment that I've ever received since I've been incarcerated over here. Like, I was still in disbelief about what was happening to me at this point. But it was nothing that I can do. So I hung up the phone with my sister. She let me know she was going to continue to make phone calls and that I should call her as soon as I get a chance to use the phone again. The next day, someone comes over, not to see me for that sick call. They've all looked at it. Still, it's not being addressed. I tell a nurse when she say, Bush, I have Tylenol for you. And she gives me a bottle of Tylenol. And so I say, thank you, but ma'am, somebody is going to see me for my sick call, right? Because I put a sick call in. And she's like, what sick call? I was like, it's over there in the door. She said, oh, yeah, somebody's going to see you. I watched her walk over there, look at my sick call in the door, drop it back down the slot, and walk away. Eventually, I would do 11 days in quarantine at the FCI. On the 11th day, they came over. They said, hey, the camp is very much infected with COVID at this point. Just about every inmate over there has fallen ill to COVID. We're going to go ahead on and we're going to send y'all back if y'all vitals and everything is fine today. So we started packing up our little things that we bought over there. We were so happy that they were saying that we just wanted to get the hell away from there. Because, again, I could not believe that I was treated that way. I was sick. I didn't feel good. My urine was dark orange at this time. And the only thing I'm thinking about is when I get to the camp, I'm going straight to medical. Well, it was an ice cold day on this January day. And I remember walking across to the camp and I seen that looked like every single door had a tag on it, which was saying quarantined. And so even my room had that tag on it. And we walked over with a camp officer, and I walked over to my room with my two roommates, and we went to the doors, and people was in our rooms, in our beds. And we're basically like, what's going on? And they was like, oh, they didn't know what to do because everybody was testing positive for COVID. So they just started moving us all around the compound. And I was like, who been in my locker? Like, why is she in my bed? And they was so at this point, the situation at the camp had become very dire. Just about every inmate had fallen sick to COVID at this point. It had went through the compound like a wildfire, basically leaving almost no one untouched. And so we're standing at the door and our counselor comes up and he's like, oh, y'all can't go inside that room. And then another officer comes up and says, Bush, get your boots on. And I'm like, my boots? He was like, yeah, you finna go to work. And so I'm like, I'm finna go to work. I don't feel well. He was like, hey, they sent you back because we needed y'all to go to work. Like, I literally could not believe that I was so sick and they wanted me to go to work. I was told to stand outside my door. Then the officer told us, go inside the room, put your work boots on, get your jackets, whatever you need. Y'all finna go to work. And so I grabbed my jacket, I put my boots on, and I remember just being so sick, and the compound is completely empty. And the inmates see us moving around, and they're like, what the hell? They're back there moving around. Well, we were parts of the first batch of people to fall sick. So I guess they decided, hey, we can't handle this load because, like I told you, during the pandemic, the officers were very lazy and they almost did nothing. So the fact that the whole compound had fallen ill to COVID, they needed some help. And I had previously worked with sanitation, so of course I was going back on the compound. Me and all of the ladies who had previously worked on the base were now being called to the front line. Well, I walked down the stairs and I remember I just wasn't looking myself. I wasn't feeling myself, and I really just felt really bad. I had only moved a few steps and I had a shortness of breath. I run into our camp nurse. And she said, Miss Bush, what are you doing out here? And I told her, like we just came back from across the street. She said, I thought y'all was still there. I said, no, they told us that we have to go to work. And she could not believe it. She said, that is exactly why I'm leaving this job right now. That is so messed up that they have y'all. And so I told her, I'm sick. I put in sick calls over there and nobody never saw me. I was there for 11 days almost and nobody saw me. And she said, come and see me in about 30 minutes. I went across the street. I did a urine test and she told me that I was severely dehydrated. Told me to start drinking as many electrolytes as possible. She told me, I don't even see how they gonna have you on the compound working, and really I need to be putting an IV inside of you. And so I told her it was fine that, I felt like I could move around some because I didn't want to have to be locked inside my room if that was the case. And so I go over, they send me to the camp child. So I'm going over to the cafeteria and they immediately say, Bush, we need you over here. We need you to help make these sack lunches. So now I'm on sack lunch duty again. This time I'm helping them make and put together these sack lunches